All right, Shalom Akim. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha, Kodash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. I'd like to say Shalom to the elect that teaches word on true faith and sincerity. And today, I just want to tie this lesson. Esau is the stench in the earth. See, all the problems, the problems that's in the earth, it goes back to the so-called white man, which are the Edomites, directly or indirectly. From the example of you got Pride Month, nigga promoting an abominable lifestyle, to these different reality shows and music that's being produced and promoted, even to the foods, it's fake. And guess who behind all this shit? Esau, the so-called white man. As a matter of fact, before I get into this article, let's start off with this in the book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24. And it reads, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So with some in your hand, your fingerprints on them, is in your possession. So on the watch of the so-called white man, the earth has been in the worst case scenario. And that's why I said it's in the hand of the wicked. And we see that the wicked is in power. The direction the earth is going into, as I mentioned, you got Pride Month, which entails celebrating being a fucking mo and everything else under the sun. It's a green light on that. It's a green light on fucking dumping chemical waste or nuclear waste in the fucking water, man. This guy, and let's just say, you had these companies, these billion-dollar companies will get caught. Them niggas will, have an out-of-court settlement, and they'll still have more money. Them niggas will profit way more than what the settlement is. So just going back to the point I made earlier in the spirit, all the problems on earth, it really goes back to the so-called white man. He's the source. He's the stench. You see, something dead in the air. You smell a dead animal. Nigga pooed it. It had to come from somewhere. And the problem is the so-called white man. Read it again. Job 9:24. The earth is given to the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? See? If it's not the so-called white man, who else could it be? Which are the biblical Edomites. Who else could it really be? Because look what this man have done ever since he came into power. Everything contrary to what Yahweh Shema Shai deemed acceptable, man. Really, everything is opposite here. The Apostle Ricardo goes into it, I touch on it a lot, how this place is bizarre world. Good is evil, evil is good. And this is the results. Everything is ran down, It's fucked up. It don't last long. You always got to renew summer. You got to get this new part. Back then, shit, at least used to last longer. Now you got shit. It runs out. You got to fill it back up, or you got to replace it, because the wickedness power, everything is decaying. So I got this article. I got a few articles, because this all the fingerprints of E. This is from Ecotiasis, and it reads, the Great Pacific Garbage Patch is so large, it now hosts dozens of species, and the plastic island is turning into a new and deeply uncomfortable ecosystem. See, that's sick. You have the sea life pretty much had to adjust to what this man have done in the earth, man. I believe, I don't know, it was during the time of the 70s, this nigga dumped so many millions of fucking tires in the water. And this nigga excuse was, is gonna create artificial reefs. And the only thing it did was made shit worse. And as you can see how this nigga is, this term garbage patch to make it sound smaller than what it is. No, it's an island. It's an actual trash island, man. To where now it's a damn ecosystem. To where it studies out there to where it shows that all this trash in the earth, all this plastic, it slows down the water currents of the ocean, man. And you can go to India and see how dirty and shitty that place is, and there's plastic in the water. And it might have Hindu written on it, but the plastic itself, the creation, goes back to E. Nigga coming up with certain things that don't, it's not biodegradable. It don't go back into the earth. You can't get rid of. You burn it, that's gonna fuck the air up. You can't put it in, gonna mess the ground up. The only thing this nigga do is crush it up and make new water bottles out of it. But even that, you got, and that's pretty much it on this one, but I'm gonna read the next one. Yeah, you got microplastics. Yep, this is from Merca 20. And it reads, new study finds your kitchen sponge releases microplastic every time you wash dishes. It says the study demonstrates that even the most common objects can have unexpected environmental effects, such as being a source of microplastic pollution. See? But this nigga is the source. He's the one that promotes these things. Mr. Clean erasure sponge or whatever the fuck. You thinking that you cleaning, yet you are polluting yourself with these microplastics. And these things, and that's why the destruction makes so much sense. This is what's gonna cleanse Earth. That's gonna be Earth Day. Green Day, they want to talk about recycling and trying to bring the earth back to health. The destruction is going to be the first step to that. Uprooting all this bullshit. Last article, and just the title itself, this is from NPR.org, and it reads 5 ways to reduce everyday exposure to forever chemicals. See, and that show you where we at in this time period. You got a term for forever chemicals. That shit everywhere. And they giving you tips on how to reduce exposure. So that means you always exposed to it. These are some of the ways to reduce the exposure. Show you, man, at the end of the day, this place need to be destroyed. And the so-called white man, he's the source of all the problems in the earth. The problem of the earth, in the earth, from these different ideas, wayward ideas. A nigga can be a fucking faggot, yet you will be looked down upon if you got two women. You ain't even got four. You got two on, maybe three. Yet you're gonna be frowned upon. But this fucking faggot just got a promotion though. This is upside down world. and it's been ran by the so-called white man. And this is the result. Everything is now fucked up, man. Isaiah 24 in verse 4, it reads, the earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languisheth and fadeth away. The hardy people of the earth do languish. So they say the earth languishing is over time, it's getting worse and worse. It's growing feeble. You seeing more fucking power lines than trees. Now that we in this process, brothers, we'll get excited if you see a bee. Like, that's a fucking old wives' tale. Like, that's an old fable. A bee? Lightning bugs, winter time. Now the summertime, you see these lightning bugs. You will marvel if you see that, because the earth has been so ran down, woe out, because of how this man has been running it. As we read the article, some of these terms: forever chemicals, microplastics, trash islands. Then you got water pollution, air pollution, climate change. You got the term smog. Hell, even a lot of these apps, weather apps, they come with air conditions. Whether the air is gonna be good or bad. It's gonna be a little too much smog today. That means this man ain't keeping up with the maintenance. It said the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. See, that's why the earth is jacked up, because of he had broken the everlasting covenant. He haven't done things that's according to the ways of Yahweh Shema Shai. He don't follow the land Sabbath. The scriptures talk about those clean and unclean animals. That's another reason why the water is messed up. This nigga overfishing, and it ain't even the proper fish. This nigga gathering lobsters and crabs and clams and these filters of the sea, and everything he's doing just making things worse, man. Everybody tired and angry now on all levels. It says therefore have the earth, therefore have the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Yeah, so this man, you can see his curse, the curse have devoured the earth. Look at this man, his influence. It's a fucking McDonald's on every continent. And you think them Arab, you can go to fucking where the Arabs at? Nigga, he a Muslim, a true Muslim. Yeah, it's a McDonald's somewhere in their country. It's a replica of America somewhere. Whether physically they got a McDonald's or even mentally, the mindset. And that just leads to things getting worse, man. That's why it says, therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned and few men left. And that's the answer. That's the other corner where I'm going to, that spiritual chemotherapy, man. That's how you get rid of that cancer, is through that fire. And the so-called white man is a cancer in the earth. Look how he run things. You ain't gonna be able to keep on, riding that shit so far. You keep putting your shit take 93, but you keep putting 87 up. I won't see how long that shit run. It's already, see, we at the point where this place putting, oh, you know what I mean? You ain't gonna get too far, man. This is the book of 2 Peter, chapter 3, and in verse 12 it reads, looking for and hastening to the coming of the day of Yahweh Shema Shai, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. See? This is the day that we're looking for, when the Lord's going to bring forth that destruction, that spiritual chemotherapy. See, we already on this path of restoration begins in the mind. The Lord is going to heal us as a people, as a whole, beginning with this truth, and send forth our Lord Yahweh Shai to deliver us. But that healing is going to even, his seed is going to spill over to the planet Earth. It talks about that in Isaiah 60. Lord says he's going to bring forth those trees and once again beautify his footstool. So the earth is going to be restored as well. Oh, what's that in going back to Isaiah 24, it talks about how the earth is going to be cleaned as off. It says, nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for a new heavens and a new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness. See, that's the next system that's going to be set up. A system that's going to be built upon righteousness. See, the law, statutes, and commandments is going to be the standard in the earth. That's what's going to lead to this kingdom being forever and ever and not be left to other people. Because it's going to be based upon the law, statutes, and commandments. And that shows you as well that everything is going to last longer too. The days, you're going to get the fullness of the fruits. And that's why the destruction is very important. Matter of fact, we can end off on this in the book of St. Matthew 24. Lord Yahweh Shai said, St. Matthew 24 and verse 22, it reads, and except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. See? So the so-called white man, his days got to be cut off, man. Because there will no flesh be saved. Just look how things are ran. And then wait till this nigga really feel like his back against the wall, man. He come down with a great wrath. See, it's already a lot of shit that can kill you now. From Doritos to a fucking vaccine. But then this nigga gonna be bringing forth, let's say he coming down with great wrath, his military, the drones, the chip. It said, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. See? So for the elect's sake, the day is going to be shortened. What days? Who days? The days of Edom. This place got to be cut off. For things to continue, for life to actually live, for you to actually take a breath of fresh air, for that to once again become a literal saying, this place got to be cut off. So yeah, I can my holders of edifying, like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rechach, Kodash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect, the teaching word in all true faith and sincerity. Shalom.